Hey everybody, it's Master Geist here, bringing you my review for Sword Art Online Alternative Gun Gale Online Season 1 on Netflix. Ooh, okay, and I had been looking forward to this anime. I didn't know that Netflix was going to be getting it, and I saw it on there. Oh, okay, this is pretty cool. I had gotten some enjoyment from the other Sword Art Online shows that I'd watched, and progressively they have been getting better with stories, and I enjoyed this story. Now, granted, they still have the problems that usually occur in the Sword Art Online universe, but I think that this was a nice change of pace. Because instead of focusing on Kirito and or anybody that's really associated with them, we followed the lead protagonist of Karen as she wants to get into the VR space because she feels self-conscious because of how tall she is. And it's kind of funny because no, we don't get this in the start off of this series, but we're led into this information because you're like, okay, she doesn't seem like she really wants to be that much into guns or whatnot. It's just she was cycling through so many VR games that it finally took Gun Gale Online for her a cute, short little girl avatar that she kind of wanted. And she's like, oh, all right. And she's going through and trying to figure out what's going on with it and finding her kind of weapons and everything. And it was really kind of cool seeing a person just being introduced into video games, and it makes you think about, oh, okay, this is kind of how, oh yeah, I'd remember feeling something like this getting into this kind of game or whatnot. And she's just kind of going around. She gets her P90, she gets into her pink outfit and everything, and then we finally get to her in the beginning. And the kind of bulk focuses on two games of Battle Royale called Squad Jams here. And we see her in the beginning. She's got a team of just herself and this one dude, M, and they're just going through the squad jam. And we start learning information that at one point she was in this kind of pink desert area and was starting to kill people and was like known as like the Pink Devil, where she then meets up with this other player of Pitahui, who wants to be called Pito, and she's this crazy tattooed faced chick who's pretty bloodthirsty when it comes to this game. But they start running around and everything, and when it comes to this first squad jam, we find out that she won't be able to participate in it, but sets up Karen, going by the name of Len, in Gun Gale with M. And seeing him go through it's pretty, I say okay in that the action was fine. It's just the setup of it, I'm not really that much into Battle Royale games. I haven't really played any, and I don't really like watching people play them. That's just a preference of mine. It's not badly executed. It took a little bit of a while for me to get. I'm like, oh, okay, now this is getting into it. Seeing them use the tactics and everything to take out people, I'm like, okay, and it got a little bit better as we got into the second squad jam because in this first one, M was more of the leader and showing her how to do tactics and everything, whereas in the second squad jam, Len takes on that role. So we're going through, we're seeing her just kind of kick ass and everything. We see her get through and actually win the first squad jam, and seeing her hook up with like the group, one of the groups that she defeated at the end of the squad jam, and then become friends with it was her become friends with this squad was pretty cool. It kind of, I like how it showed that part in games where, yeah, you might come up against this great team, and instead of being like, oh yeah, screw you guys and sending hate mail, you're like, okay, you legitimately kicked our asses. We want a rematch kind of thing, and just have that kind of rivalry and kind of friendship being born as she's actually meeting and talking with them in real life, because they noticed that they got the tells of each other. One of the people being called boss outside in the real world, her having her little P90 P-chan keychain, which it was kind of weird seeing that the gun would sometimes become kind of sentient and talk to her. And I love how she's like, this is kind of freaking me out too, but it was interesting. It didn't completely break the immersion. It was a nice kind of tonal shift that would sometimes occur. But we get into it, and she hasn't like played with Pito in a while, and she wants to go into the next squad jam. And we find out that a mysterious person has sponsored the next one, and then M comes and meets up with Karen in real life and needs her to play in the squad jam because Pito is crazy batshit. She wanted to be in the Sword Art Online thing when everybody was locked into the death game. She was a beta tester, but she wasn't able to get into it when it launched. And she's going to play the squad jam, and if she loses, she's going to kill herself. So Pito and Len had made the promise that if Len somehow kills Pito, that they will meet up in real life. So, of course, M, Goshi in real life, gets her to get into the squad jam so that way he can make sure that the woman he loves, Pito, doesn't kill herself. And the thing is, he's really afraid of her because she'd probably kill him in real life too. They have this like sadomasochistic relationship going on, which is really explained later on. Is like, holy fucking shit. And I just love that when we get Karen and her friend Miyu getting into it and getting the lowdown, they're both like, this is kind of fucked up. And yeah. So she enlists her friend Miyu to be her partner in this, and they go to the squad jam, and I like this one a little bit better because there's all different kinds of teams going on in it now than the first one, and it just seemed like the action flowed a little bit better. And we see Len trying to do her objective and get to Pito, and they did a good job of setting up the tension and everything in the final confrontation and setting up who who Pito is in real life. Though, to be fair, if you watch it from the beginning, you pretty much can call who Pito is. Elsa Kanzaki, she's not really an idol, but the singer that Karen and her friend are madly obsessed with. And it's really kind of weird because Goshi looks to be about in his 20s. Karen is going to be turning 20. And this Elsa Kanzaki chick is fucking like, okay, is that a little girl? Now, granted, it was a pretty good reveal when you're like, okay, well, Karen was able to tell that it was her. She was trying to throw a smokescreen with someone else, the club's owner that she frequents and plays at. But, like, okay. Now, it was really kind of cool at the end where Len and Pito are just kind of like shooting the shit, and she's like, okay, yeah, I'm not suicidal or that obsessed with death anymore. And she's like, alright, cool. And, yeah, we can just have fun in this game. And bringing up that she knows only one other person who's more ruthless than her. And, of course, it was how Len kind of took her out in the second squad jam, which was pretty fucking awesome. You can see that one for yourself. But I really liked how this delved into Karen accepting who she kind of was, kind of building herself up through her exploits in the game, and kind of coming to terms with who she is, even though she's tall and everything, and stands out from people. She kind of becomes more comfortable with herself and her skills going through these weird ass experiences. Now, I really kind of wish that we didn't have a death game kind of thing involved again. Now, granted, I don't mean that you have to completely nix it once you do it, but when it becomes a pattern like this, I'm like, can't we just see the people play the game? Because you can have that kind of tension and everything with these games. You just need to come up with a different kind of consequence that would be through it or whatnot. I'm just like, okay, someone else really stuck on the whole Sword Art Online death game thing. It wasn't horrible. I'm just like, okay, been here before. I kind of would just like to watch them play the game. I kind of would have liked to see them kind of had it balanced, but I know this sounds kind of weird, but gaming style-wise, balance it with PvE stuff and PvP stuff. Now, granted, you could get more tension out of the PvP stuff, but it was kind of nice to see Len and Pito just kind of going off and killing these giant-ass monsters. I kind of really would have liked to see them being like, okay, there's a raid popping off. Let's gather a group together and do this shit. Kind of like what we had with Kirito and them in Alpine that one time. That would have just been kind of cool to see. So, I liked how they developed Karen's character and did some development with Pito. And it was interesting that Pito is the antagonist, but she really wasn't a villain in this. I kind of like those kind of distinctions because, granted, her objective was self-destructive, but she really wasn't trying to do it to really do any kind of massive change or anything like that. It was more for herself, even though M was kind of drawn in because of their fucked up relationship. So, if you're into action and I wouldn't say it's deep character development. It's not like really big, riveting stuff, but there is some character development here for people that are into that, and it's balanced with a nice set of action and everything going on. They do a really good job of switching up between 2D animation and CGI to where it doesn't look completely and utterly fucking weird whenever a CGI element pops up. It works very well and just it was beautiful. Well, not the most beautiful, but it was beautiful to watch. It was like, oh, okay, this doesn't look like complete and utter crazy crap. It's like a nice melding of the CGI and the 2D, and yeah, I would recommend watching this. And if this is like your first Sword Art Online show that you're watching, that's fine. You're not going to be completely spoiled for anything, and you can get into it and be like, oh, okay, this is kind of the gist. And then if you don't like it, you don't have to continue with any of the other ones. So those are my opinions on the anime. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.